Have you ever wondered why happiness often seems so elusive, so hard to hold on to? It's an age-old question, isn't it? The pursuit of happiness, a journey we all embark on, yet a destination seemingly so hard to reach. For many of us, happiness remains an elusive concept, always just out of grasp. But what if there's a different approach to this quest? What if we told you about a philosophy, aged yet timeless, that offers a unique perspective on happiness? Welcome to the world of Stoicism. Born in the bustling markets of ancient Greece, Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us about the true essence of happiness. It's not about chasing pleasure or avoiding pain. It's about understanding and accepting the world as it is, about focusing on what's in our control and letting go of what's not. In the next few minutes, we will unravel the art of Stoicism and its profound connection to happiness. Stoicism, a philosophy born in the bustling markets of ancient Greece, holds the key to lasting happiness. Picture this: around 300 years before the Common Era, in the heart of Athens, a man named Zeno of Citium founds a school of philosophy. This school, later known as Stoicism, would provide a roadmap for achieving tranquility and happiness, principles that remain relevant to this day. Zeno, the father of Stoicism, was followed by other notable philosophers such as Seneca, a statesman, and Epictetus, a former slave. Despite their diverse backgrounds, these philosophers shared a common belief: happiness comes from within, and it's our perceptions that govern our feelings. At the core of Stoicism lies the dichotomy of control. It's the understanding that while we can't control external events, we can control our reactions to them. Stoics believed in focusing their energy on what they could change and accepting what they couldn't. This principle served as a guiding light for them to navigate through life's turbulent waters. Another key tenet of Stoicism is virtue, the idea of living a life of moral excellence. For Stoics, virtue was the highest form of happiness. They believed in living in accordance with nature, aligning their actions with the natural order of the universe. This didn't mean retreating to the wilderness, but rather understanding our place in the grand scheme of things and fulfilling our roles to the best of our abilities. Stoicism, however, isn't a doctrine of emotional detachment. Stoics weren't stone-faced individuals devoid of feelings. Quite the contrary, they acknowledged the full spectrum of human emotions. The goal was not to suppress these emotions, but to understand them, to manage them. They strived to replace negative emotions with rational thought, to respond rather than react. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, but rather understanding and managing them, a crucial step towards true happiness. So as we delve deeper into the art of happiness through the lens of Stoicism, remember, it's not about avoiding life's challenges, but about cultivating the right mindset to face them. So how does Stoicism lead to happiness? Now that's a question that's been pondered for centuries. You see, the Stoic philosophy promotes happiness through the acceptance of what we cannot control and by focusing on what we can. Stoicism introduces us to the concept of the dichotomy of control. In simpler terms, it's about understanding that some things are within our control while others are not. Our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, those are within our control. The weather, the stock market, or other people's opinions, those are beyond our control. Fretting over things we cannot control is like trying to catch the wind in a net. It's fruitless and only leads to frustration. But when we accept this dichotomy of control, we can start to cultivate peace of mind. Instead of being tossed about by the waves of external circumstances, we become like a rock in the midst of a stormy sea, unyielding, steadfast, and serene. Happiness, according to Stoic philosophy, isn't about having an endless parade of good days. It's about finding peace and contentment regardless of the circumstances. It's about understanding that while we may not control the events that happen to us, we can control our response to them. This doesn't mean that we become passive or indifferent. On the contrary, it empowers us to take action where we can make a difference, to change our perspective when things don't go our way, and to find contentment in the present moment rather than constantly chasing after future happiness. It's an art, really, this Stoic approach to happiness. It's about painting a picture of life where we value virtue and character above fleeting pleasures, where we find fulfillment in our actions and thoughts, and where we understand that the key to happiness lies not in changing the world around us, but in changing how we interact with it. By understanding and accepting our limitations, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and disappointment, paving the way for true happiness. But how do we apply these ancient principles in our modern lives? Well, let's dive into some practical tips and examples on how to bring Stoicism into our everyday routines. Firstly, let's talk about mindfulness. Stoicism, much like mindfulness, encourages us to live in the present moment. It's easy to get swept up in the worries of tomorrow or the regrets of yesterday. But Stoicism teaches us to focus on the here and now. Take a moment each day to really absorb your surroundings, engage fully in your tasks, and appreciate the present. This simple act can bring a sense of calm and focus to your life. Next, let's consider acceptance. Stoicism advises us to accept what we cannot control. This might be the weather, the traffic, or even the actions of other people. By accepting these things rather than resisting them, we can reduce our stress and frustration. Try to catch yourself when you're getting worked up over something out of your control. Take a deep breath and let it go. Now, onto the idea of focusing on virtue. Stoicism values virtue above all else and believes that it's the key to a fulfilling life. This means acting with integrity, kindness, and courage regardless of the circumstances. Ask yourself each day, have I lived according to my values? Have I acted with virtue? Reflecting on our actions in this way can bring a sense of accomplishment and peace. Lastly, remember that Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, but rather understanding and managing them. It's okay to feel, but it's also important to not let our emotions control us. By practicing mindfulness and acceptance, we can better manage our emotional responses and maintain a balanced state of mind. By integrating Stoicism into our daily routines, we can navigate life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity, bringing us closer to the elusive happiness we all seek. In our pursuit of happiness, Stoicism offers a timeless and practical guide. We've journeyed through the birth of Stoicism, its core principles, and how it intertwines with the art of happiness. We've seen how focusing on what's within our control and accepting what isn't can lead to true fulfillment, and we've shared practical ways to apply Stoic wisdom in everyday life, helping us to cultivate resilience and contentment. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its simplicity and its relevance to our modern world. It's a philosophy not just for scholars, but for anyone seeking a more serene and meaningful life. So I encourage you to delve deeper into the wisdom of Stoicism. Read about it, practice it, make it a part of your life's journey. Remember, happiness isn't a destination, but a journey, and Stoicism provides us with a roadmap. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the wisdom of Stoicism with others on their journey.